All scripture is given by the inspiration of God. That's enough. Thank you so much. Thank you. I want to talk about the bestseller. The bestseller. Help me say that, the bestseller. Senior Sage pastor came up with an idea to raise funds for his church. The idea was that he would find men in the church that had a career of selling things. He found two men that job was to sell merchandise. He assigned them to go out and sell Bibles to raise funds for the church. There was another man in the church whose name was Raymond. Raymond couldn't talk. He had a problem getting his speech out. He raised his hand to volunteer to be one of the salesmen. Pastor tried to ignore him. He didn't want to insult him, but he knew if he couldn't talk, he couldn't sell much. He kept holding his hand up. Pastor tried to ignore him, and finally he just stood up, and Pastor says, "Yes, Raymond." He said, I want to sell some Bibles too. Pastor said, "Okay, Raymond, go on and sell Bibles." He knew he wasn't going to sell any. 2 weeks came back and they made their report on selling the Bibles. One gentleman stood and said he had sold 20 Bibles. The other one stood and said he had sold 30 Bibles. Pastor didn't even want to get the report from Raymond because he knew if he could not talk, he couldn't sell any Bibles. However, Raymond held his hand up as far as he could hold it. Pastor ignored him. He held both hands up. Pastor discovered he was going to have to recognize Raymond. He said, "All right, Raymond, how many Bibles did you sell?" He said that I sold 300. Pastor was shocked because a man that could not talk sold more Bibles than the people that were professionals. So the pastor decided to ask him, how is it that he was so successful in selling these many Bibles and couldn't speak well? So he asked Raymond, "How did you sell so many Bibles?" He said, I gave them the Bibles and I said to them, do you want to buy it or you want me to read it to you? And so I come this morning to be a Bible seller. And if you don't buy it, I'm going to read it to you. For the last 6 months, during our hour of